Okay, so we're gonna do a pound of hamburger or sausage. We should have done sausage. I used Everglade seasoning. You can do Lowry seasoning salt or just plain salt and pepper, just to give it a little more flavor when we're cooking it. So, a 24-ounce container. I just used the whole thing.
I'll turn that back up, Tyler.
I just used the whole thing. And we just go like that. And then you can, I just dump some in. You can, if you want to be measuring, you can use a 1/4 cup. And then we've got mozzarella cheese. That was Parmesan cheese. This is mozzarella cheese. If you want to measure it, I don't measure, but if you want to measure, say a cup of mozzarella cheese in it. And then we're going to just mix that up. I don't use the egg because the Parmesan cheese and the mozzarella cheese binds it together for us. And I just do this while I'm getting my meat brown. Okay, so you can stop that. Ground beef or sausage and one onion and some seasoning. I used Everglade, but you can use Lowry's or just salt and pepper. So I'm putting the basil and garlic, oregano, diced tomatoes in. And I'm putting just a jar. My favorite is from Save-A-Lot. It's the roasted garlic and herb. And I use that for my tomato bisque too. And I take this. And I also just add a little, I clean out the jar by just adding a little water to it. No big deal, you don't have to do that, but I like to get all the sauce and then I mix it around. And if it needs to be a little more runny, I add some more of the sauce. What do you think, Tori? Does that need more?
Saucy enough.
Is it saucy enough or needs a little more?
It's good.
It's good? Okay. And if you need more sauce when you get to the slow cooker, you can just dump some in after the fact. But right now, this is what we're going to use. Okay, so we've got our meat mixture with the canned tomatoes and, well, we ground the ground beef, we add the onions, stuff. Okay. Jar of tomato sauce, and we just mix it together, and that's our mixture. We've got our container of cottage cheese, Parmesan cheese, and mozzarella cheese here. And then we've just got the basic lasagna noodle. It can be anything. I've got GV brand right now. So what we're going to do is we start by ladling. We ladle the first layer. We just get it in there. And we just coat the bottom. Okay. Then what we do is we crack the shells. Stop. Okay, so as you can see, we smush down the noodles and we make sure it's covering all the areas. So when we started, we put the sauce, then we put a layer of noodles, and then we put sauce again before we start with the cheese layer. Then we add our cheese layer, and it gets sort of messy. Wash your hands before you start. But then what we want to do is we smush it around. Smush it around, and then we add some more sauce, and you'll notice how we're going to stop. A layer of sauce and just sort of smush it down, and then we add the noodles again. Stop. What we did was we made another layer, but we squish it down. That's how we get all that in there. So we squish it down nice and neat. Let's see how much we need. Then as we go, we won't need as much because we're just going to keep squishing it down. Okay. We're going to do another glop. Where we can just squish it down and the stuff just keeps, we can just keep layering it. Now we got lots of stuff still here. So we're gonna go ahead and make another layer. So now we're getting to the end. And we're using up the last of our layer of the cheese. And the sauce is getting pretty low. And we're using up the last of our noodles. What we're gonna do is just squish that in there. You see how that gets all squished down, and we're just using up all the scraps all the way around. See how we're squishing that through? Sort of can get a little messy, that's why. Okay, so we're good there. We just got a few more noodles left. We're gonna use up all those noodles. Let's use a little more sauce. Last of our sauce. So what we're gonna do is get that other jar and we're gonna squish some more in there. Okay, last of it. Use up all our little scraps. Get those squished in there. Let's squish that. Make sure nothing's showing. It can be a messy business here. Okay, so we got everything basically covered. We got a little bit more, we like it a little more saucy. On the top, sort of cover up the cheese and the extra noodles. There you go. And that's that. And we're going to go ahead and put it on high for probably until it starts bubbling. Once it starts bubbling, I put it on low so that we don't burn it. So that's how you do it.